We are now standing in front of actually a machine that we have filmed a couple of times because we've been working with Kurz and Jordi for more than a year, I think actually. It was actually in the beginning of the COVID, we got the impossible job to make films from some of the Kurz DM Jetliner customers, and it was really great. You should go and see them on INKISH TV, but let's talk to the man that is now responsible for making sure that this becomes a global hit, right? Isn't that true?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah,
So Jordi, your work with digital print before you started with Kurz also. If you think of the digital print market, where do you see it's going?
Yeah, this is a very good question. So to be the first one is really good. So the digital market is, as you know, is evolving quite a lot lately. And I will say, and this is something that I like to repeat to any customer, digital embellishment, to my point of view, is the last frontier in the printing business. Digital printing is the coolest thing in the printing business, but digital embellishment is the last frontier. Is where you can really have plenty of room for improvement and to bring new value to the customers.
And you didn't answer my question. Where do you see digital print going in the future? I mean, is it something that will replace analog 100%, or is it something that will be on level with it? Will it only be for the short runs? Will it be for? I mean, where do you see it? If you think of it from maybe not just from a Kurz perspective, but from a generic perspective, where do you think it will go?
I will tell you what I will say is this common opinion for many of us. So digital needs conventional to exist, and conventional needs digital to keep existing. So every technology has a market. Conventional, does not matter if it's offset, flex, or rotogravure, has a potential, has a huge market, and digital is just filling some spaces in the market. I see the future with a much bigger combination of digital and conventional printing methods, but not only for printing, also for finishing. So it's going to be much more mixed.
And it's when you say that, I can't help thinking about yesterday when we had dinner together. We talked about, I mean, of course, some of the competitors, but we also talked about some of the digital finishing opportunities. We talked about digital in many different ways. From, I think we even talked about digital transformation to how we communicate. Because that entire change that is going on in the market right now, a company like Kurz, a family-owned company with a long positive legacy, how do you grab that challenge?
So I'm pretty sure that after all the interviews, all the knowledge that you have today about Kurz, for you it's clear what we do. So Kurz, we started our activities, I don't know, long time ago, and we are very well positioned in the conventional business. But because, as we just said, the market is moving to digitalization, we need to make this journey with our customers. And that's why Kurz is moving towards digitalization as well. But the final idea, the ultimate goal, is to have same solution across different technologies, always being capable to offer to the same customer the same type of quality. This is the ultimate goal that we have here at Kurz.
Just behind you, we spoke about, you don't have to look at them right now, but earlier today we spoke about the 3 roll-ups that you have in the background, because that is also something that maybe not so many people know, that basically you have various digital technologies that supports different markets and different needs. And now we're in front of the DM Jetliner. Here we have the Uniliner from Steinemann. And I was just thinking that, this is very focused on the label industry, but Steinemann is also for the sheet fed, the commercial print and the packaging industry. So where do you see Kurz in that market mix?
So we have, including all our daughter companies, we have a very wide portfolio of different solutions for any printer in the industry. It does not matter if they do sheet fed, web fed, does not matter if they are in commercial printing, in labels and packaging. We have most likely one solution for each customer. We like to say that we want to make every product unique. This is our motto. But beyond that, we have to make every single solution for every single customer, because each customer is different. Each customer demand is different. And that's why we have this wide portfolio, which I will say today is widest portfolio in digital embellishment in the market.
And when you look at it, I mean, we spoke to Achim earlier about from Imprint, which is like a company in the Kurz family, and basically they focus on making the print heads, which are also used, or the not the print heads, but the print unit, which you see both in here and you see it here. And I was just thinking that it seems to me that it's a kind of a modular approach you have to how you build the machines. Is that also how you can basically make sure that it could fit into almost any application, almost into any environment that you basically need it for?
So what we have today, for sure, is not what we plan to have in 5 years.
Okay.
So we are just not at the beginning of the journey, but we are at the one of the first steps of this journey. And these two machines that we have here and some other machines that we have around are machines that are not fully developed. So our ultimate goal, again, is to have full modularity, just to have, with our machines, not only digital varnish or digital foiling. We can add any type of converting solution and printing to the same machines using our daughter company, Imprint. So the idea is to have the full offering, again, to make every solution unique for each different customer.
Is that one of the major KPIs investing in Kurz and Steinmann DB? That you mentioned that you have that you build machines that are unique to unique customers. So I was just saying that is that the uniqueness of how the offerings from Kurz and Steinmann is when it comes to the machines? How you see yourself positioned in the market, that basically you can alter the machine to fit the purpose for the customer? Is that very important to you, how you see yourself as a supplier?
So it's important, of course, we will prefer to have serial products trying to become a standard in the industry. But we know that, especially in the label business, this is not easy. And we are in between printing and finishing. So we're in an intermediate step, and for some customers, we have to be integrated on the printing side. For some others, we have to be integrated on the finishing side. Our approach is, does not matter what you want. We have a solution to be integrated here, there, or in between, and that's why we want to have the full offering. So yes, we can say that we want to be perceived as a partner capable to bring any kind of solution for digital embellishment.
One of the things I wanted you to talk about is because you showed us, let me a little come here, because basically you showed me this wine label here. Can you tell what is very special about this? Because I think that was a great explanation of one of the things that you can do, right?
Showing you like this wine label, it's one of the most common papers on the wine label business.
The substrate, basically.
It's uncoated paper. So, but this is again one of the most common substrates in the market. And here we have digital foiling, which it looks very similar to cold foil, but this is something that it's very difficult to produce with cold foil. I don't want to say it's impossible, but it's very difficult to do that using cold foil on that kind of paper. With this DM Uniliner 2D, we can bring quality of hot stamping with the efficiency of cold foil to this very challenging substrate.
And basically, as I understood from your explanation, it basically means that when you have the jetliner, you can place it before or after the printing unit.
Exactly.
And that basically means that now, instead of having a two process in order to achieve it, you can have it in one process, right?
Exactly. With the same machine, you can have metallization before colors, metallization after the colors. So let me show you this, Morten. So here, this is another bottle, but here we have the metallization before the colors.
Still digital printed?
Digital printed, digital metallized, and digital printed. But with the same unit, with the same liquids, with the same technology, with the same software, you can have both solutions using the same system.
So when you showed me these two examples, I mean, this was like a pretty standard kind of label when you have an integrated cold foil digital solution, right? And you showed this one, which is a little extraordinary. When you look at these kind of print samples here, is that something that is, if you are in the label industry, you will immediately understand the value of the jetliner, for example?
I will say yes. I would like to think yes. So thinking about this whiskey label, this is
it's made in the same way as the red wine, right?
But this is a very challenging substrate because it's texturized. Maybe it's difficult to have that on the camera, but
because it has like it has a texture in it,
Yeah, so there is a texture. So how to do embellishment on this label, on this substrate? Hot stamping. And we don't have anything against hot stamping,
No,
of course,
not.
but it means time, it means tooling.
Yeah.
And with this unit, you can have everything done digitally.
Sounds like we're opening a bottle of wine, but we are not. Fantastic.
And don't forget that with the same unit, you can have the type of product which consists of reduction of metallized paper. So
Yeah,
here,
but it's a paper-based product here.
this is
It's not plastic, right?
yeah, but instead, so in the conventional business, if you want to have the type of label, you will use metallized paper with polyester. Then you will print white, and then the colors on top of white. With this solution, first you print the colors, you keep the areas where you want to have metallization without any printing, and then you add the metallization in line with this machine without adding any polyester to the substrate. So it's sustainable,
Yeah.
it's cheaper,
Yeah.
and the speed to market is much faster.
And looks great.
And looks great, of course.
Can't help think about one of the first films we did together was with Amberley labels in the UK, right? And I mean, they have really pushed it from being a very high-end luxury label manufacturer, now utilizing the DM jetliner and the HP printers in their production. How is the reaction between when you show technology like this? What is the reactions from the audience?
So for all these label printers doing digital embellishment, doing embellishment for a long time, this is a game changer. So they see plenty of new opportunities because of all what they can do. So if you only look to the cost reduction perspective, it's a great solution because you can reduce money or you can reduce the cost and you can have a much more sustainable solution. If you look on the embellishment side with these labels, it's also fantastic because it means that you can have something that today it's impossible to have. So the combination of these challenging substrates with the quality of hot stamping, but the efficiency of cold foil never exists before. And the most important thing, all this technology that we have with this machine is patented by us. So nobody else can do the same because here what we do is that we print the glue on the backside of the foil.
That basically means that you never print on any substrates, which is
Exactly.
or the material, so
Exactly.
you don't have the problems about whether it adheres to plastic or to.
Exactly. So the level of absorption of different materials is not affecting us because the surface where we print is always the same, is our foil. So we know where we print, we know how we apply this glue together with the foil on the substrate, and that's why we can cover from plastics to uncoated paper, passing through coated materials, of course.
So Jordi, that was the DM jetliner. Now we're here with the Steinemann DP. We also made a film from your development in Switzerland, actually. What is this machine and what makes it different from the jetliner?
So this is our latest development. This is our very latest development. We have today only one of these machines installed. And the main difference with the DM Uniliner today is that here we apply the varnish and the glue directly on the substrate. And with that we can create different layers of different thickness just to have a haptic effect. So while the DM Uniliner 2D, everything is about flat applications and being as flat as possible, here is just the opposite. Here is going from almost flat.
So instead of having the microstructures that you typically emboss, you basically print them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we create all the textures that we want to have on the label. Some fantastic facts. We can apply varnish and metallization in one single pass at 100 meters per minute.
Yeah, that's really fast.
This is, I will say, it's really fast.
Yeah.
So having this high level of production, saving passes, because having varnish plus metallization in one single pass reduce plenty of time and make ready waste and so on.
Yeah.
Together with the quality that we offer, we expect that this is going to change a little bit the future of the label industry.
Yeah, when you talk about the ability to both foil and raise varnish at the same time, is that the same kind of technology you apply to your sheet fed version of the same? Or?
Exactly. So the technology that we're using, the way of how we apply everything is a little bit different, but we're using the same print heads, the same liquids, the same software. So everything is the same, but because of the application, sheet fed or labels, we have some differences. But basically the idea is the same, and with this machine, the same as with the sheet fed solution, we can have multiple reels, which is a big advantage.
Yeah,
in case
because
that
you
you want to
basically,
combine.
that's also what you see here, that you have different colors of foils,
Exactly.
right? Yeah, yeah.
So in case that you want to have a much wider production or with more colors, this is one of the things that we can offer. If there isn't a company in the world who knows how to play with different reels of transfer products,
Yeah.
believe me, this is Kurz.
Yeah, yeah. And as you say, you have one in the market. How are they doing? I mean, are they very happy with it, or?
They are, at the moment, really happy, till the point that we are talking about more units.
Okay.
So this is always good.
Yeah.
They are not talking about labels anymore.
Okay.
They are talking about pieces of art,
Okay.
which is fantastic.
Yeah, yeah.
So having that kind of compliments, words from the brand owners,
Yeah.
saying, "Wow, I'm not buying labels anymore. I'm buying art."
Yeah.
This is fantastic.
Yeah, yeah. And when they say that, is that because, I mean, we all know that when we go to trade shows and also to events like this, you really put up the really fantastic samples here. And, you know, sometimes in daily lives, people are more like, you know, bread and butter business. Is that because when you have art, is it only capable of art, or can it also do bread and butter business?
We can do everything with this unit, but this is something that I'm always explaining to customers. With this technology, with all what we can do with this unit, requires some kind of business development, because the brand owners, the users, we don't know what we can do with this machine. So if I will go tomorrow to the supermarket and I see off the shelf all these products, I will be really shocked. And the brand owners, in the majority of the cases, they don't know that they can produce that kind of quality in a digital way, in a digital workflow, combined with digital printing. And that's why we think that this is going to change somehow the label industry in the future. But coming back to your question, for sure we can go from very basic products, maybe only with varnish, to varnish plus metallization with much more complexity.
But, I mean, I don't know how it is with digital, because we spoke about it earlier when it was about the DM jetliner, and I was just thinking, I mean, in the label and packaging industry, I think there's been a tendency for many years that if you look at a flexo machine, then you have both flexography and you have digital and you have foiling inside one machine. And as you said correctly before, when you have digital machines that are typically very short runs, you don't really want that to be, because it ties up too much of the machine. But when you have machines that is so fast like this and so productive like this, is this not something that people would like to have as part of an inline solution, or can it be done that, or?
The level of complexity of this solution will make quite complex to add it inline.
Okay. So you will still suggest that people have a roll-to-roll, whether it's analog or digital, and then you basically have the rolls.
So with the 2D solution, with the Uniliner 2D, which is a unit only to do metallization, we have installations with this unit inline on printing machines, on finishing equipment, and the machine is capable to do jobs before or after the colors. With the 3D technology, because of the complexity and because of the layers that we are growing, it's a little bit more challenging.
Okay, and when you do the layering, just pop to mind here, so basically does it go forth and back in order to layer, or how does it work?
No, it's
just the amount of
varnish that we apply.
Okay,
that we
and then it has a UV that basically cures it directly.
We can go from 4 microns to 100 microns.
Wow, that's a huge thickness to it, right? Yeah.
So that's why we talk about tactile application.
So the sample that we have on here right now, does it have the tactile? Oh yeah, it has.
Yeah. So touch it. Yeah. Here I think that we don't have foil, but maybe I can show you this finished bottle. So here you can see that much better.
So here we have, both the foil and well, this looks great.
And you can really feel that.
Fantastic. As I always say to you, Jordi, it must be fun working with something that creates some so beautiful outputs, right?
Yeah. So I have worked for many years in the printing business, starting from conventional printing, ending with digital printing. And printing is printing. I love printing, but if you ask me today, what do you prefer, printing or embellishment? I will say that the room for improvement, the business opportunity in digital embellishment is really
I
big.
mean, also to be honest, I mean, there is a digital change right now, but there's not that many companies that deliver similar solutions, right? So from that perspective, it's also a nice sweet spot to be in, right?
Yeah, and the market is moving. The market is moving into this direction,
Yeah.
and slowly, brand owners, they are adopting more and more and more the type of solutions,
Yeah.
which means that I foresee much bigger competition in the future.
Yeah.
The good news for us from the Kurz side is that we produce the main consumable here. We are a chemical company. We have all the knowledge on how to produce the equipment, and we have the install base. We have the customers, so everybody knows Kurz because of our reliability,
Yeah.
bringing products to the market. So
Fantastic. Now you will not get more time.
more than good.